So scope flexing like that is really important as well. It really matters. So I will obviously comment on his times. If you don't get a sub 6 minute time on Hell on Earth on your first run, it's fine. If you get a 10 minute time on your first Hell on Earth run, it's perfectly normal. Hell on Earth is a very difficult level from a speedrun perspective because a lot can go wrong. There's a certain level of randomness, at least a high level, but I'd rather say a high level of randomness to it. And shit can hit the fan, and once something's wrong, then the next thing's going to be wrong, and you're going to be out of sync for a lot of things. So it's going to make the level very difficult. And getting a very good time on Hell on Earth is very difficult. And Hell on Earth has been the plague of this run because as the run has become more optimized, if you don't get a good time on Hell on Earth, well, the run's dead. If you don't get sub 6 minutes, there's no point in running because you're never going to get a world record or a world record pace.
If only.
Yeah.
I will say for anybody who's like new to running, obviously just keep running through the game. Don't worry too much about like how your times look. You just want to get used to running. But for Hell on Earth, once you get used to running, I'd say sub 8, maybe sub 7 minutes is usually what you would want to go for. Just because it's so early in the run that you can reset quickly. Whereas later on, if you get like a bad time on a level, you're 40 minutes out, you might as well finish the run. But that's why you'll see a lot of people reset a lot on Hell on Earth, because it's just the first level. But like Lawyer said, getting sub 6 minutes is not the end of the world. And I would say like sub 8, sub 7 is like once you're starting to really get into speedrunning, like that's what you want to, I'll say, take at that point.
That's interesting. I didn't have those figures in mind, but sub 6 is insane. It's just insane. So don't. And I agree. Like on your first runs, don't watch your timer. You're gonna be slow. It's life. You're learning. It's okay. But don't feel worried because you're not getting 6 minutes on Hell on Earth, because sub 6 is extremely difficult. It's just so hard. So just don't worry about it. On Orangey, because we need to use your puns to describe the levels. Okay, so Exhaustia or Exultia, the second level in game. It starts off with nothing particular, apart from that grab. That's free, basically. You can grab that pillar by just jumping, just jump around it, and we're just going to look at it again. Double jump, turn around, grab the pillar, and you don't actually have to grab what the game intends you to do. It's asking you to do, which is grab the pillar on the right, so you could then grab the pillar on the left and then make your way to the ledge, blah blah blah. Just grab that and make your way through. Don't need to kill anything here. Punch your way around through that wall, sorry. So this fight is it's not heavily scripted, but it's scripted. The mobs are going to spawn always in the same spot, so you want to start off by killing that gargoyle that's in the air. I believe the gargoyle triggers the spawn for other shit. Is that correct? I can't remember exactly what the spawns are, but
I think it's you kill the soldiers, the imps, and the gargoyle, and then, or are there even soldiers, or it's just one soldier? I forget.
It's 2 soldiers. You've already killed one here.
Yep. So once you kill these things, then and I believe the gargoyle is included, then these things all spawn.
Yeah. Okay. And by way of perfect programming, the Cacodemon that spawns there in version 1.1 commits seppuku at the site of the Slayer and just dies. The exact explanation is that he spawns in the death plane. The more specific explanation is just he just dies when he spawns. So you want to stand where Bloodshot was standing at the end of the fight. Well, during the fight rather, so that Cacodemon spawns in the death plane and not a bit in front of that. So kill that last gargoyle. There's no need to kill that Hell Knight, and you can just make your way to the Blood Punch, pick it up. whiz your way around here. This is a good place to practice bunny hops. I've always had good fun working on bunny hops here. And you're going to pick up your first rune, and your first rune is going to be air control. Air control is a very important rune because it gives you a lot of control over your over your movement, and is going to make a lot of tricks, in particular dash boosting, a bit easier. It's not a requirement per se, and technically you can finish the game and you can speedrun without air control, but it's going to make a lot of stuff a lot easier. So again, actually 99% of the fights in Doom Eternal have static spawns. Most of them have. The overwhelming majority of them have static spawns. So this fight has static spawns. So you're always going to want to do exactly what Bloodshot does, which is kill this first soldier. There's another other soldier on the right there. He killed another soldier on the left. Kill the Doom Hunter. Not the Doom Hunter. The Blood Knight. What's it called?
Hell Knight.
Hell Knight, sorry. Yeah. Kill the Hell Knight, so you want to use your Blood Punch on the Hell Knight as well as your Grenade. Grenade because there's a cooldown, so you can use it right now and you'll be able to use it on the next fight. And Blood Punch is good here. It does a lot of damage, and you're going to have to glory kill 2 Caco Demons, so you're going to recharge it for free in a second, so you might as well. So you're going to want to kill the 2 gargoyles that spawn on your left, the imp that just spawned, kill that gargoyle, get that Caco Demon faltered, kill the second Caco Demon. Killing the second Caco Demon is going to spawn a third Caco Demon. Killing the third Caco Demon is going to spawn an Arachnotron, as well as 3 imps. However, those 3 imps don't spawn in the arena, they spawn at the bridge, which is why Bloodshot was spamming grenades right here, because you want your grenades to be landing on the ledge here, so that when the imps spawn and climb up that ledge, actually, God. Wait. Oh, good. Sorry. I thought I was still in game. I was worried there. So to to get back to my point, when the imps climb on that ledge, they're going to eat a face full of grenades and immediately die. So once you've killed the Arachnotron, the doors open and you can make your way to the rest of the level. So you don't actually need to. You shouldn't pick up the chainsaw right there, because I think you're going to need it later on. No, actually, you just don't pick it up. Is that it? I don't think you pick it up at all.
Yeah, for Ultra Nightmare you would
exactly.
It, but for this is not an Ultra Nightmare run, so it's not a big concern.
So for this puzzle, as you saw, you could just kind of climb up the ledges, the walls rather, of this whole section. All you have to do is spam jump. There's nothing incredible to it. You kind of have to spam jump. There's a bit of timing to the whole maneuver, but once you've made it up one ledge, just get on those kind of blades and ride them to the other links you can break. So here, this is the only time I'm going to say you should reload checkpoint, because it saves a lot of time. What Bloodshot does is he picks up dash, and as he's picking up dash, maybe Bloodshot, you could give us some information on the timing, because I don't really know the timing, but you reload checkpoint and it you exit the main menu, reload checkpoint, and it makes you appear a bit earlier in the level.
Yeah, there's actually not much timing to it. You just have to make sure you don't get the checkpoint after picking up dash. Mm-hmm. So as soon as you pick it up, you can just do it. But there's not much speed required. You can wait like a second and then pause as long as you don't hit the next checkpoint. And then you'll reload back here. And there's a weird thing with this level where the first time you go through it, there's a battery that we're going to collect. And that's the trigger for the teleporter to go to hell. But when you replay this mission, the battery's not there, so the trigger to spawn the teleporter is completing the second fight in the rotunda. which is weird that it's coded that way, but it works for us in our favor, so
Yeah.
we take it.
I didn't know that. So it's a huge time save because it avoids, if you're familiar with the game, it avoids a whole section where you need to go to King Novik's throne room, blah blah blah. Here you just go backward, pick up the battery, go to the teleporter, and you're done with the first part of Exultia. So it saves a lot of time. So this fight, you want to kill the fodder, kill this, what's it called, Revenant. Killing, actually, the second part of the fight doesn't. It depends on two things. It's either you've killed everything, or you've just made your way to the edge of this ledge. So once you've killed everything behind you, you want to walk forward and take care of this. Take care of this guy.
Hell Knight.
Hell Knight. I don't know why I keep forgetting his name. Kill the Kako Demon. It's a pretty straightforward fight. This is a pretty funny trick. This I would advise you try on your first runs. It's extremely straightforward. Actually, I'm going to show you in game. No, they didn't fix it. They didn't fix that with the most recent version. I'm playing with the most recent version, so there are a certain number of tricks I won't be able to show you. And actually, I'm going to jump in game as well because I'm going to have a quick discussion and a quick illustration of dash boosting, because there's a dash boost that's coming. I have my cat that's sitting on my keyboard. Oops. Which way is hell?
Behind you now. You were going the right way.
Yeah. It's the purple thing right there.
Once you hit over the mountain, you'll see.
Yeah. So this is the fight we just saw. Actually, I need to trigger a checkpoint here. No, I'm an idiot. I can no-clip my way around. Yeah, exactly. Perfect. So, landing the skip is fun, first of all. Secondly, it's important because it avoids this whole goose section. So, let me just try to remember how you actually land it. Yeah. So the way I
to go under the hanging bodies because like it obviously looks like you can go through them, but there's just a giant invisible wall there with those bodies as like the marker I use. So I usually do, if I'm trying to make it, I usually try to do jump dash and then jump dash, or maybe I'll do jump dash dash jump. But you want to obviously dash under those bodies. But the nice thing about this trick, like if you can't make it to the ledge, you can instead turn to the right, and there's actually a climbable wall. That's a little bit easier to get to.
Yeah, I don't know if you have to stream.
So I do. So this is a very easy trick to get to, because there's the easy version where you just use the climbable wall, or you can get to the ledge, which also isn't that hard, but obviously, you know, if you need to do it somehow, the wall is right there anyway.
Yeah, and I use the same marker as well, kind of aiming for between the bodies. You don't want to start your jump too high on this ramp, kind of wait until you're a bit lower. Just jump, and it's extremely simple. And it's fun, you know. I enjoy doing the skip, and you avoid the whole purple goo and everything else, so it's very, very nice, to be honest.
Power core nearby. You can use it to activate the mech and clear a path forward.
Oh, I forgot to animation cancel that. So we're going to see in a minute. Actually, I'll show you the trick before Bloodshot does it, which is a dash boost. Actually, let's go to Bloodshot's run because he knows how to do it. So you could can you skip the pickup animation here? Yeah, exactly. So you skip the pickup. Yeah. So with the same technique. So Bloodshot's going to do a dash boost right here to grab this ledge, which is going to avoid having to go through the different sections here. So the game wants you to go here, here, climb here, and make your way here and go up. Bloodshot is simply going to dash boost to an invisible ledge right there, and then make his way to the top of the bridge without having to go through this whole section. So a dash boost is extremely simple to execute. It's a dash against a slope surface with a wall in front of you, basically. So right here, as you can see, there's a sloped surface right there. There's a wall in front of me, and if I hold W and I dash, the game is going to give me my dash momentum, so it's going to push me forward really fast. But since I'm going to hit a wall and there's a slope between me and the wall, the game doesn't really know how to calculate stuff really well in that specific circumstance, and it kind of forgets to decelerate me. So when you dash, you get a huge acceleration and then a sudden deceleration. When you dash boost, you just get the acceleration, and since you're on a slope, the game's going to convert that forward momentum into upwards momentum. So by just that's not the dash boost. By just dashing against a slope and the wall, suddenly you're flying. So that's exactly what's happening right here, and that's exactly what Bloodshot does in his run. There's a slope right there, and he's against the wall, so he just dashes and makes his way to that ledge right there. So a few tips with regards to dash boosting. First one is you need to hold W to be stuck against the wall, but as soon as you dash boost, you want to let go of W and probably hold backwards, because by holding backwards, if you keep W pressed, you're going to press against the wall and you're going to create friction against the wall, so you're not going to get a very good boost. Whereas if you simply boost, and here I press W, you see the height I get by just getting away from the wall as fast as I can and avoiding friction against the wall. So the key to good dash boosts is that it's getting in position. That's very simple, but as soon as you dash boost, you want to press backwards, so you can get a lot more height through your dash boost than you would if you had kept your forwards key pressed. So you can do the dash boost. It's relatively simple, and as you can see, this is where air control helps a lot, because with air control you can move in the air. So this whole part of movement I could not do if I didn't have air control, so it helps tremendously. Oops. But if you don't want to do this dash boost, there's a very simple trick which we used to, which originally was what we did for this section, which is to dash your way to this ledge right here, and look up, and just, whoops, where'd you jump? I forgot where you jumped to. Do you remember, Bloodshot, where we used to jump to? Did they change?
It's the same spot, I think.
Oh, it's the same. Oh, yeah, you're perfectly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely forgot. I thought it was over there. But you can reach the same spot. Yeah, you could just... All you have to do is look up, kind of have this in your field of view. Just look up and double jump. So it's slower. It's not as good as a dash boost, obviously. But it's very simple. And boom, you've made your way to the top of the bridge without having to go through this whole wall climb shenanigans. Someone joined the voice chat, Mr. Reach. I'm going to mute you, Mr. Reach, if you don't mind. So we just saw Bloodshot stats boost. This whole section you need to go on the green triangles. You're going to turn around to grab the wall. Sorry, well, not the green triangles, but the whole green sections, the green satanic symbols. He's going to load checkpoint after the door opens to once again save a bit of time on the timer. It's not, again, I wouldn't advise doing that for your first run because it saves in-game time, but it doesn't necessarily save real time, so you don't really have to bother doing that. So this is probably one of the most important skips in the level, and it's one of the hardest skips in the level, and it's one of the rare occasions where bunny hopping counts. And what Bloodshot is going to do, he's going to jump and bunny hop on the end of this little section right here. And by bunny hopping, he's going to first of all conserve his momentum, and secondly transfer some of his vertical momentum into forwards momentum. So in other words, he's going to transform falling into moving forward. And with his forwards momentum, he's going to reach the spear right there, and he's going to avoid having to do all of this fight. So it's an extremely important skip, and I would advise anyone who's running to learn it because it's a good skip. It's one of the easier skips you can do, but it's not an easy skip by any means, but it's probably one of the easier skips you can do, and it skips a lot. So it's probably one of the first skips I learned when doing NMG, and it was very rewarding to land the skip. So since the game is FPS dependent, and bunny hops are FPS dependent, it's not going to be easy to land if you don't have high FPS. So I don't have high FPS. Oops. So I've always struggled landing this trick because it's a difficult trick to land. Because you need to hit that perfect bunny hop, and if you don't, you're not fudged. I'm going to try and give you a couple of backup strats that aren't necessarily backup strats, but anyways. So one of my first backup strats, which isn't great, is to start from back here.
Make sure you're on game.
Oh, sorry. So one of the first backup strats is to start from back here and to try and get some bunny hops going, so that when I get to the end I already have a bit of forwards momentum, but it's not very easy. Technically you can land a perfect bunny hop and make your way from here to the spear, but don't even try. The second cheat you want to use is you want to use your weapon wheel, because weapon wheel slows down time, and it also slows down in-game time. So technically I have 70 FPS with the game open right now, but with the weapon wheel I have a lot more, because every second of in-game time is going to be rendered by 3, 4, 5 more times. Sorry, by a lot more frames basically. So what's going to take, let's say, 200 frames to render in normal is going to take 2000 frames to render with the weapon wheel open. So it's going to give me it's going to artificially inflate the number of frames I have, and it's going to allow me to land that perfect bunny hop a lot easier. But it's not because you have the weapon wheel that suddenly the bunny hop is easy. It helps a lot, but it doesn't make it very easy. So if you've watched Bloodshot's tutorial, as you should have, you're going to know that we have jump bound to mouse wheel, which allows us to input jump very fast. So it's very useful when doing bunny hops. So the technique for this specific bunny hop is exactly that. You're going to jump, hold the mouse wheel, and whoops, I was completely stupid on my part. Important TLDR, not TLDR, but important little note: you need to double jump before you land the bunny hop. So you want to double jump, kind of aim for the edge of that section, and just mouse wheel, and there you have your bunny hop. Now, I could not make that jump because on the most recent version of the game, they blocked the spear with a invisible wall, so that jump is not landable anymore, which is why, again, I think you should run on version 1.1 of the game and not the most recent version. But the second thing you need to know, which is great, is what I just did. Imagine I jump and I miss my bunny hop. All I have to do is reload checkpoint and I'll be back atop of this whole section and I can try the bunny hop again. So that's probably how you want to practice this jump. You want to practice this jump, to be honest, outside of runs, because again, it's a very important skip. You're going to skip this whole fight, which is pretty long. So you want to practice it by just reloading, and you can cheat your way by using the weapon wheel. So there's no specific point where you want to land. You don't necessarily want to land on the very edge of the ledge. It's better if you do, but you can manage without landing on the very last pixel of this very last railing. You don't want to land here, obviously, but you want to land towards the end of it. And if you land towards the end of it, you can make your way to the spear with bunny hop. There's also a backup here. I don't know how it works. Did you cover it? I think Bloodshot, you covered it in a tutorial, right?
I do. It's you kind of jump up to on this pillar and then you do like a dash boost off of it, but it's not the most consistent.
Yeah.
I'm good at it apparently, but there's a lot of runners who just aren't. So it's if you're good at it thing, it's a good backup to have, but otherwise it's better to just like reload checkpoint or something.
Yeah, it's not it's a good trick to know for Ultra Nightmare, because obviously with Ultra Nightmare you won't be able to load the checkpoint, but you don't. I agree with you. You should rather learn how to do the bunny hop instead of learning how to do the backup. Okay, so let's go back to the run. So he avoids the fight. Sorry, makes his way to the battery. Right there, he did a small dash boost, which is a minor time save. It's a fun dash boost, but it's very small, so I won't jump in game to show you. But same principle: dash against the wall, hold backwards to avoid friction and get a bit of height, and you're going to be able to grab the ledge without having to go through that whole section. So right here, you need to clear everything. What he does is probably the best and simplest way. Kill the zombies, go to your left, kill the Caco demon, stand on that ledge to get good vision of the two zombies that remain, and you're done. Here he does a small trick, which is again really easy: jump, dash, dash, and it gets you on this small ledge. So you avoid the purple goo, you get good vision on the Arachnotron, and you can kill it relatively easily without standing in goo, and you can make your way to the rest of the level. So here he does a dash boost. I am going to hop in game quickly to kind of show you how that works. There's nothing exceptional with that dash boost, but it's not, I'd say it's not very intuitive.
There's also, just for this part in particular, there's an invisible wall that blocks the like thing you're trying to make it to, and also there's an invisible wall here. The way to despawn, I think this wall, is to defeat the Arachnotron, and the way to despawn the wall up where you're dash boosting, you have to go through the tunnel on your left, and somewhere halfway through is the trigger to get rid of the wall. So there's a lot of weird invisible walls that have different triggers here. So
that's a good point. It's kind of why I wanted to get in game, because I wanted to show that, and it's a very good point, because yeah, otherwise you won't be able to land here. If you try to get here without doing the fight, you're going to be stuck against the wall, so you're not going to be able to do what I'm doing. And as Bloodshot just said, if you want to jump over this section, you won't be able to do it if you don't go through it. Sorry, it's the other way around, but you need to go at least in part through that tunnel in order to get here. You can't just skip the fight and make your way here. But this is a dash boost, so the principles are similar to the one we saw before. Just dash against the wall. Why am I getting these insane dash boosts? I usually hardly make it to the ledge right here, but the key again, dash, hold backwards, and you can get some good dash boosts. So we're going to go back to the run. So here, Bloodshot does a very difficult trick. He lands a bunny hop right there, which gives him huge momentum. He dashes twice to go through 2 death planes, and through some weird mechanic of the game, he loads. He respawns way further in the level near the end, and he skips most of the level. I think it's probably one of the harder skips in Exultia, and I don't think new runners should try. The flip side is it's a huge time save, so I don't really know what's your opinion on that, Bloodshot. But to me, it's a difficult trick to land because you need to land successive bunny hops, navigate your way through that whole part of while avoiding the other death planes, dash twice through the right death planes, blah blah blah. So it's a bit rough, and I'd advise against it when starting out, unless Bloodshot says you have to do it, and it's necessary.
No, I think that's one of the last tricks you should learn. I mean, I think if you're running, you'll know when you should or will want to learn that trick. But the bunny hop version's hard. There's technically another version that uses just a dash boost, which is slightly easier but slower. Obviously, it's still fast because you skip a large portion of the level. But I would still recommend that's probably one of the last tricks you should learn. If you're practicing and trying to perfect other tricks first, then obviously perfect those tricks. And then once you've perfected them enough in runs and you don't have anything else to improve on, or nothing major to improve on, then I would suggest looking into that trick. Because once you get that, it really speeds up Exultia in particular. But because that's like a 2-minute time save or something at the very least. And there's other tricks that I imagine Lawyer's going to show that don't include that. If you continue through the level, there's other stuff you can still do to save time. But yeah, don't focus on that trick right away. That is one of the last tricks you should probably focus on.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm glad you shared the opinion. Oh, well, I don't know why I picked up that battery, but yeah, it's a huge time save, but it's difficult because it requires you to have a very good understanding of a lot of things in the game, and it's not something you're going to have intuitively. So you don't learn it at first. So actually, it's a good thing I picked up the battery, because you need to pick up the battery, because you need to use it right here. As Bloodshot said, it skips a lot of the level. So I'm just going to show you what it skips, and I'm going to give you a few tips as to what you can a few tricks that are going to save a bit of time. You don't pick up the crystal here anymore. I don't think you do, because you skip it. But
yeah, we used to pick it up though.
Yeah.
I would recommend not getting ammo here. But if you say, especially for Ultra Nightmare, if you need health or armor, this is a pretty good fast crystal to pick up, because you can pick it up. Well, you can jump and dash over to it, and then you just walk forward, and I forget specifically how, but you can kind of just jump into the flesh wall behind the crystal.
Yeah.
And you can just kind of jump up.
Yeah.
So it's a very fast crystal to pick up in the front.
You could just spam jump right here. Just spam jump. And the easiest way, obviously, is with the mouse wheel. Just spam jump. And you can either spam jump, go right, and make your way back here, or spam jump and actually you could get to the ledge, I think. There's a way.
There's a way, but
yeah,
either way, as long as you can get out of the view, it's fine.
Oh, obviously. Now on stream. Okay. So you just pick up the crystal and make your way back here. So here, you want to skip everything here. It's extremely easy. Get to this ledge right here, this broken pillar. So there's nothing specific or spectacular about it. But make your way here, just double jump, dash once, and you've avoided this whole section. So
Yeah, the big thing about this one to remember is there's normally an invisible wall here, but falling below the ledge, like despawns it, and that's why we always go for the pillar, just because the pillar happens to be at the right height to despawn it, and it also lets us jump off it to climb on the ledge.
Am I missing all those shots? Okay. Yeah, so there really is nothing to this to landing there. It really is walking forward, jumping, kind of dashing, and imagine you miss. You can actually. Did they fix it? I think there's a. Oh no, you can. There are a bunch of ways you can go get back up. Either here. So this is relatively easy. Just climb up here, double jump your way, and I think there's a. I believe there's a grab. There's a place you can grab it. But anyways, it's extremely easy, and it saves a lot of time because it avoids having to go through all this section and going back, blah blah blah. So you want to make your way through this section right here, and there's a neat trick. I think it's you who discovered this trick, but it's a pretty neat trick. Here, technically, what you're supposed to do is you're meant to go down here, go through the betrayer, talk to the betrayer, blah blah blah, end up here, jump over this section. It's pretty long, and there are two ways. One which is very easy to skip all of that section. So, as you saw again, I used some very basic movement to not. I just didn't go straight. The game, in principle, wants you to go through this section this way, but you can very easily just go right, go through this section, and bam, you're here. So what you want to do is you want to be aiming for this part of the wall, and there's a small ledge. There's like a small nook over there where you can sit on, and that's going to allow you to recharge your jump and your dash. So you can't get to it if you're. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bloodshot, because I've always had trouble with this trick. But you can't get to it if you're too high up on this climbable wall. So you kind of want to be at least one down. You want to look to your left towards this section. Look up, dash, dash. I never get this trick.
You are right though. You don't want to be too high up on the climbable wall. I'll always go all the way to the top left of the wall, and then I'll press down once, and that gets me usually about where I need to go. And you can actually jump pretty high because you have air control, and then you can just do 2 dashes to make it. It's obviously something you have to practice a little bit to like know exactly where you're supposed to go. But once you figure out like where to go specifically, it's not too bad. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, thanks. At last. Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty simple. You know, as Bloodshot just said, top left, press down once. You want to look up, jump, jump, dash, dash, and you're standing right here over geometry, and you've reloaded your jump. Ah, I'm an idiot. I missed the simplest part of the trick. And you've reloaded your dash and your jump. The other way is through a dash boost right here. There are 2 ways you could do it, like I just did. Oh no, you can't grab this ledge, you need to go to the other one. Is that correct? I was trying to grab the wrong wall. But that's the other way. You want
what was that, sorry?
Once you're up here. Oops.
Oh, you can go back, you quote unquote, towards the betrayer and then just jump up if you need to.
Yeah, you need to go to this section, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's So the simple trick is this. Once you're here, press down once, up. Ugh, I'm bad at this, but you want to practice this. But once you're here, you want to go here, and you can make your way to the rest of the level without having to talk to the betrayer. So if you do it properly, it saves a lot of time. Ah, I'm so bad. But never mind. Here, there's a neat little bunny hop you can land on these chains, which can kind of propel you forward, but it's not easy to land, so it doesn't matter if you do. If you land this, you can actually, I believe you can grab this platform or this platform, so it avoids having to do what we're going to do, which is very easy. Instead of having to drop down here, go all the way around, go up, pick this platform up, blah blah blah, you can actually go straight across. So the way I kind of know where I need to go is I look for this little protrusion right here, and this is where I'm looking to jump, and just double jump, double dash, and you've made your way across. So this avoids having to do what the game wants you to do, which is go through this section. Oh no, not even this section, it's here. The game wants you to go through here, blah blah blah, having to climb all the way here, and this is where you are. You can just make your way over here by double jumping, double dashing, and you're fine. So we'll get back to the run. I mean, oh my god, I've been streaming for an hour and a half, or 11 minutes in. I thought this was gonna be quick.
Only what? Like 9 more hours to go then? Luckily,
So
stuff like Superborn is going to be pretty quick, so.
yeah, I hope so. So this fight you want to practice because it's relatively simple. It's scripted again. These mobs, they all spawn in the same place. So you want to pick up the power up, kill the Arachnotron, kill the Revenant with a precision bolt, kill the Hell Knight however you want. Plasma gun works fine. Then you're going to kill the Caco Demon that always spawns at the same place. So the Arachnotron always spawns here, the Revenant always spawns there, the Hell Knight always spawns here, and the Caco Demon always spawns right behind where Bloodshot is. After that, there's an Arachnotron that spawns always here. So it's very scripted. It's an easy fight. Once you've done that, you want to clear the fodder. And the important thing you want to do as well is you want to end the fight where Bloodshot is standing right here, which is where the portal is going to appear, because it avoids having to wait through the animation of the portal appearing. So it saves a few seconds, it's free, and it works well. So Bloodshot is going to do a bunch of quitting to main menu, which is high skill FPS work right there. God level aimbots. But unfortunately the run requires it if you're going to compete for world record. So you can pick up the ice bomb, again skipping the animations. This whole section we can almost fast forward in the sense that there's an elevator ride, first of all, and there's nothing you can do. And secondly, you need to clear the Ripatorium. There's probably a strategy you guys have to clear it a bit faster, but the truth is there's a bunch of enemies, you need to kill them. They spawn randomly, and that's it. So kill stuff. Kill stuff fast.
Yeah, I mostly just sit on this block, and then most enemies tend to come to you, except for maybe like 1 or 2 at the end. So just make sure you listen to audio cues. If you can hear where the enemies are, then it makes you know where they are. It's easy from there then.
Yeah. It's an annoying fight because it's very random and there isn't much you can do apart from just killing stuff. So you want to go through this whole section. There's nothing particular. Yeah, you had a terrible split here. My God.
No lie, I probably thought that at the time.
I know. But like you went from -1.8 to +9. Like what the? You have to be a bit frustrated.
Exultia has always been a problem for me.
It's yeah. There's so many